My vagina, a live, wet water village. My vagina, my hometown. Not since they took turns for 7 days, smelling like feces and smoked meat. They left their dirty sperm inside me, and I became a river of poison and pus. And all the crops died, and the fish. My vagina, a live, wet water village. They invaded it, butchered it, and burned it down. I do not touch now. I do not visit. I live somewhere else now. I don't know where that is.
Really good. Like, the ending was perfect. I'm just wondering, like, do you feel inclined at all to get mad? Like, you raise your voice as if you're getting mad, which is good.
At first, to me, it was, and I would tell people that who had problems with it, or who, you know, when they found out, really, like, are you sure you're gonna do that? And I would tell them, hey, it's a job. But you know what? After doing it, I realized that it is more than that.
Okay, everybody, we're starting the show at 6:55 p.m. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Certain things that are represented in the vagina monologues are at odds with Catholic doctrine. So in the beginning of this year, when the administration had caught wind that we were going to do it again, there was a lot of almost like a sense of like fear, I think, that it was going to take place again on campus.
Vagina monologues, I mean, obviously controversial, and it's meant to be provocative. That's the kind of work it is. But if people raise questions, and I had questions about the repeated performances of it and certain publicity and fundraising, so I raised those, and I intended to initiate a discussion about it.
The little coochie snorcher that could is here. Smell list, all here. Fantastic. Reclaiming cunt here. The woman who loves to make vaginas happy here. I was in the room here. Okay, great. Okay, give it like 1 minute. Not 1 minute, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, by the time you do that, all that. Okay, go ahead.
I bet you're worried. We were worried.
We're worried about vaginas.
It advocates masturbation and homosexual activity and extramarital sexual activity as means for understanding one's sexuality and appreciating one's sexuality, and as good outlets for sexuality.
I was all warm and ready and young and alive. And then, without looking, with my eyes closed, I put my finger on what had suddenly become me. There was a little quivering at first, which urged me to stay. Then the quivering became a quake, an eruption, the layers dividing and subdividing. The quaking broke open into an ancient horizon of light and silence, which opened onto a plane of music and longing and colors and innocence, and I felt connection, calling connection, as I lay there thrashing about on my little blue mat. My vagina is a shell, a tulip, and a destiny. I am arriving as I am beginning to leave. My vagina, me.
Last year, the monologues were held in the DeBartolo Performing Arts Center, which is a brand new, beautiful theatrical space. This year, Father Jenkins asked that the production be held in a classroom setting, and the production would not be allowed to raise any money. That was really difficult because ticket sales from the production have gone towards the SOS Rape Crisis Center in town and to the YWCA Battered Women's Shelter.
My husband had an affair. When we went to marital therapy, He said that he screwed around because I didn't please him sexually. I wouldn't shave my vagina. The therapist had a German accent and gasped between sentences to show her empathy. She asked me why I didn't want to please my husband.
Yeah, toast at the end. Just gonna raise them to the middle.
And then take it back, ladies.
Yeah, that's cute. And go. Cute. I'm making little candy grab bags for my girls because they're working really hard. Tonight we're doing crafts. We're making felt vaginas. Right in after hair.
Original design.
That's the third
Okay,
person.
so if I cut this in all, that's gonna be.
Catholicism teaches you should accept people because you should love them. But if you love, what is it to love someone? To love someone is to want the best for them. And if you see that part of what is going on is something that's harmful to them, you would naturally want it to stop.
And he was so genuinely excited, so peaceful, so euphoric that I began to get wet and turned on. I began to see myself the way that Bob saw me. I began to feel beautiful and delicious, like a great painting or a waterfall. I began to swell. I began to feel proud of my vagina.
There are instances where, one's freedom of expression should be limited when it is, harmful to others or inciting violence. But a production like the Vagina Monologues does exactly the opposite. The goal is to empower women and to fight against violence against women.
People can feel empowered by a lot of different things. One can point to all kinds of different horrible movements that people have said made them feel empowered, either by putting down another group or destroying themselves in some way, but that doesn't mean that's what it's actually doing.
I went to see them my freshman year. I felt very objectified after looking back on it. Their goal was good. Their goal of ending violence against women and telling about stories about women who've had violence done to them is a good goal, but the means to that end is not good, because the means to that end is using what I consider pornographic material, using objectionable material.
The argument that the Vagina Monologues objectifies women, I disagree. I feel you are witnessing the empowering of women when you go and see the show. But the fact is, you get to witness it and then talk about it. No one's asking you, hey, agree with her. She's saying she's her vagina. Fine, she's her vagina. Let's all agree. Let's all be on the same page. I don't think that's happening at all. The point is to say, man, like, why would you want to be referred to as your vagina? Or why wouldn't you want to be? And then,
Nice drawing.
oh, thanks. That means emphasize.
Okay.
Okay. So, just basically when she's walking off, you enter.
Okay, and enter stage.
That side, yeah. That's stage right, yeah.
Suddenly, my father's best friend, this big old man, Alfred, comes up behind me, pulls down my underwear, and puts his big hard penis right into my coochie snorcher. I kick, I scream, I try to get him off, but he's already done got it in. My father's there then, and he's got a gun. And then there's this loud, horrible noise, and there's blood everywhere, all over Alfred, all over me, lots of blood. I just remember being very sad for the little girl who had so many bad things happen to her vagina or her coochie snorcher, to the point where she didn't even refer to it with the proper language. Memory, 16 years old. There is this gorgeous 24-year-old woman in my neighborhood, and I stare at her all the time. She teaches me all the ways to give myself pleasure. She is very thorough. Whew. She says, always know how to give myself pleasure, so I never have to rely on no man. The next morning, I'm worried
I done become a butch. I am so in love with her. She laughs. But I never see her again. I realized later she was my surprising, unexpected, politically incorrect salvation. She saved my sorry ass coochie snorcher and raised it into a kind of heaven.
Despite the fact that it was kind of an unusual way, or maybe a controversial way to find herself, or to find some sort of positivity in her feminine side, it was nice that she did find that.
I think it's very important to talk about sex and things that happen, and a lot of people don't. And I never really realized how many girls had actually been sexually violated until I started working with the Vagina Monologues, because I was just doing it for the cause and I really liked the show. And but then there were a few girls who were like, I have been raped. I've been raped here on this campus. And that, for me, even as the director, I was like, whoa.
Frankly, I don't think they ought to be performed anywhere. We at a Catholic university having a special obligation to reject her ideas.
As Catholics, we want smart, successful Catholics. And the only way that can happen is if, all of these things remain on campus, if every perspective can be discussed and talked about.
Notre Dame has such a prominent place. I think that it becomes symbolic of other battles, but I would urge everyone not to see it simply in terms of that kind of symbolism, a victory for this side or that side, but in terms of nurturing a fuller discussion, in terms of being creative in response to issues, in terms of engaging people on important questions. I think on all those issues, I think we have and we will advance.
So, this is all you. Not that I've helped you guys much, because you guys are all brilliant and intelligent and amazing and fantastic actresses, so I'm not really worried. But my job is completely done, so now the rest of it is up to you. All you. All you. All you. Okay? I love vaginas. I love women. I do not see them as separate things. Women pay me to dominate them, to excite them, to make them come. I did not start out like this. No, to the contrary, I started out as a lawyer. But in my late 30s, I became obsessed with making women happy. It began as a mission of sorts, but then I got involved in it. I got very good at it, kind of brilliant. It was my art. I started getting paid for it, and it was as if I had found my calling.